Democratic consultant Derek Newton. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about Charlie Crist. Everybody's wondering if he's going to run for Senate or run for re-election as governor. Either way, as a Democrat, do you think he's beatable?
Probably not. No, I think it's very tough. Probably somewhere between very tough and impossible to beat Charlie Crist, regardless of what he runs for.
And everybody is obviously waiting to see what he does with the Senate. As it now stands on the Democratic side, we've got all of the candidates from Miami-Dade. Is that if it stays that way, an all South Florida Democratic field, are the Democrats in trouble for the general election?
Well, it's not a coincidence, I don't think, that every single statewide elected official in the state comes from the I-4 corridor, so there's definitely something to that. I don't necessarily say it's a disadvantage. There are lots of votes in South Florida and lots of money that it takes to run races comes out of South Florida. But clearly you want somebody who's going to have appeal statewide, and it doesn't hurt at all if they have a history in the I-4 corridor or come from this part of the state.
So you probably antagonized some Democratic friends in Miami. You were quoted in our paper not long ago saying Pam Iorio would win if she gets in. You think that's a stretch?
I think she is a very strong candidate, and if you look at history of people from around the state, especially being from Tampa, being a woman, especially if she's the only woman in the race, she's going to be very difficult to beat in a primary and a general, I think.
Let's talk about Amendment 2. You ran the campaign that tried to stop Amendment 2 from passing. It passed with 60% of the vote. How much was Obama, ironically, helpful to getting that passed?
Well, we looked at the numbers afterwards, and there's been some research on that. Not as much as people think. I mean, it was a factor, but the Obama factor in passage of that was minor. It really wasn't decided there, I don't think. So as much a factor as anything, but it wasn't the deciding factor.
What happened? How do you explain that loss? 60% is usually pretty tough to get.
Yeah, 60% is tough. I think we had a very complicated issue. We had to rely on logically explaining the impact of the amendment, whereas the pro argument was emotional, very easy to explain. And it took a long time and a lot of resources to try to get our message across, and we didn't have enough of either, enough time or enough money to deliver that message effectively.
So I watched the movie Milk the other day before the Academy Awards, and one of the striking things about that was Harvey Milk was a guy who was never reluctant to sort of put the gay issue, and was proud to be gay and talk about gay issues and he had some political success. Ironically, you guys would never talk about the gay issue. Were you gutless?
No, I prefer to think of us as pragmatic, but I would say Harvey Milk never had to campaign in Bay County. There's a difference between San Francisco and a large part of Florida. I mean, Florida's still a southern state in a lot of ways, and a very diverse constituency, and a very, very big electoral battlefield, and so it's just very different. I certainly applaud his character and determination and all the things that made him a great public servant, but it just wasn't a good fit for the type of campaign we needed to run.
Okay, Derek Newton, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
How'd we do? I think we